this interview because I know Dave and I are kind of sharing this, but you've been around this league for a long time. You know Chris Jones, and the number of players that have been in and out of the dressing room this season. How do you guys handle it? What's the continuity like?
Um, for me as a leader, it's a test for me to just keep keep at it as far as bringing guys along and letting them know what's expected when they come in and what the culture should be like. For guys who are kind of on the cusp of special teams or playing time, it gives them a sense of how the business is, the business side of things, and if you're not being productive when you're called upon, or if you're coming to work and you're not really locked all the way in as far as letting outside things affect your performance on the field, then they get a sense of how the business side of things work. They're going to find the next guy. So as a younger guy, you just have to stay locked in, knowing that the eyes are always going to be on you. Older guys as well, but you should know that at that point in your career. But it's just letting everybody know that it's always a professional business. So if you're not getting the job done, then they're going to be looking for someone else to replace you, whether it's week 1, 2, 3, throughout the season, or whether it's next season, they're not calling you back after the season.
That's some interesting perspective, and thank you for that.
Yeah.
But I see guys working hard,
Right.
regardless of who's in the lineup, who's in the locker room,
Right.
being professional. So is it you that kind of helps, as you said, set the stage, set the table for these guys to come and do their job?
Yeah, for sure. Me, along with leaders on offense, leaders on special teams. Um, every day after practice, we're meeting in the film room, watching film of ourselves. The next morning we're coming in 8:30, watching film on the opponent. So, um, guys just have to buy into that and not only watch film as a group together when we're in the facilities, but when they go home, watch it a little bit by yourself for 30 minutes to an hour, every day, and eventually things will start looking the same as far as your opponent, and you'll begin to start picking up on keys and tendencies, and you'll be able to play faster.
Riders on Friday, you know them well. Both gave up 50 plus. How angry are both teams going to be going into that tilt?
Oh man, I mean this is at that point in the season where we got to win every week. So whether we lost by 50 points last week or whether they lost by 50 points last week, they're in the same boat as we are. We have to finish the season strong. Put a couple of wins together, hopefully 6 wins together, 5 or how many games we got left, and see where the chips fall at the end of the day. CFL football, the third quarter of the season is when things really start getting tight. So you kind of never know what happens, and hopefully for some of the young guys on the team, things like I said, things can fall into place for us, and maybe we do have a chance to get a crossover if we handle our business on our end.
Going back to a place where you have a lot of good memories, played a lot of good games. That's one heck of a fan base. I know football's not very sentimental, but I'm wondering if in your quiet moments if you've thought about going back to a place where you had a lot of success.
Um, Honestly, man, it's not even gonna hit me until I get there.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, I had probably the best years of my career in Saskatchewan. Probably some years that I will never forget. And when I go in there this weekend, man, I just hope it's another special game for me.
Yeah.
But I honestly just want to do everything I can, to help my team win and put my best foot forward. And like I said, hopefully we come out with the dub.
You think you know what to expect from Rider Nation? Some love, some catcalls, everything.
Honestly, man, I don't think anybody will heckle me. I mean, it's all love. I love Rider Nation for embracing me as a player ever since I've been there, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do the same thing when I come back into town. So it's all love, man.
But you're green and gold, and that's
Oh yeah, I'm a
one
different
priority.
shade of green right now. Yeah, man. This my home, Commonwealth Stadium. Edmonton, Alberta. I appreciate you guys, for bringing me out here, and I'm having fun out here so far. Besides losing, I mean, it's a good city to be in.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah.
Good luck Friday.
Appreciate you guys.
Hello, Niles.
What's up?
How are
doing?
you?
Good.
All right. Well, you're back out working with the defense. Looks like you're back in.
Yep. Back in, ready to go.
Yeah.
It's been just can't wait to get back out there. Just playing the game is just what I live for, really.
How do you handle the? It's frustrating. You didn't play the first 6. You didn't play the last 2, and these are arguably the 2 best games on the regular season calendar. But how do you handle that mentally?
It's been a challenge,
Yeah.
just dealing with just bodily things, but it just makes the mind sharper. So look at everything as a equivalent seed of opportunity to get better. So I just take everything in stride.
What have you seen out of the last 2 games of this team? Where I know some people are saying, "Man, it looked so good on Monday, even though you lost, and didn't look so good on Saturday." Just how it can flip like that.
We just got to finish,
Yeah.
just finish out games and just keep playing all the way.
Yeah.
4 quarters.
2 teams that should be pretty grumpy playing each other.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's, I know there's a lot of history between these 2 teams,
Yeah.
between Edmonton and Sass, and I like it. I like the challenge of everything and the excitement. The fans kind of hate you go over there a little bit. Just brings more to the element of the game.
Well, football's about a lot of things, and hostile environments are one element.
Yeah, you got to get used to that. You got to be amped for that. I think if you're you're a real baller, you want to play in those type of environments. Like I used to love going to the away games, and the crowd don't like you necessarily. And it kind of adds all to it, all to the game, to the entertainment.
How much can you take from that energy? I mean, it's a loud environment anyway, as you found out last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty wild.
I love it.
But you come in as the villain, and
Yeah.
hey,
I know,
football
yeah.
kind of has that
Yeah.
good versus evil element to it.
Yeah.
If they
it
think
does.
you're evil, you might as
Yeah.
well just take it, right?
Yeah, depends on what side of the coin you're on. You might be the villain, you might be the hero. So you gotta just fight for your team. Especially when you're away like that. It makes the band of brothers that much more of a band of brothers.
Yeah.
So that part I enjoy.
Well, it's tough with 3-10. The attitude is win 5 games and see what happens here. But I know it's been tough. But tell me about the process of coming back here. Here doesn't seem to be the problem with practice. Seems to be transferring it to the game seems to be the problem. But what's the approach to the final 5 games here?
The approach is just one game at a time and give our best. Like honestly, give our best and keep fighting for one another and keep this train rolling. On for this year and for next year. There is no sight of giving up or any type of any sign of weakness going on. We're gonna fight all the way through and win out all the games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate
you.
it. All right, glad
Well,
you're back.
Mind if I switch sides? We'll get.
Very well.
I want to start with all the player changes, all the roster moves. You've been in this league a long time. You know Chris Jones pretty well. What's it like when every day there's a new guy coming in and another guy going out? How do you handle that?
That's just the state of the football team right now, and you have to take your job serious. We want to be a team, and we want to be you want to have your comrades and your guys with you and everything. But right now, winning football games takes priority in a sense, and you have to do your job. Not only are we're here fighting for ourselves or fighting for our families. Everybody's here is fighting for their job, so you can't really focus on who's the next man coming in. You got to focus on yourself.
And despite all of the inconsistencies, and I think Dave will agree, we consistently see hard work and positive attitudes on the field. Do you agree?
Yeah, man. This is definitely the only thing you can do is look positive. When you start getting down on yourself and you look down, then things start to slide downhill in a sense. And I don't think we've ever been in that moment, or we've been in that, or never been in that mind state. We know that we have young guys. We know that we're shuffling around the roster. We know that we just have to come together and figure out ways to, at the end of the game, have us leading.
How much would it help to, sorry, John, how much would it help to bring that attitude into games? Because it doesn't, that seems to be the issue, is transferring the practice stuff, the enthusiasm, the looseness into games when things seem to go bad sometimes, and it looks like some players are tight.
Yes, sir. It's difficult. We put ourselves in positions to where we can't have fun. We're giving up big plays or a turnover or anything. We put ourselves in positions where we feel down on ourselves. Even when it'll be a one-score game or anything, I'm sure it seems like we have less energy than we did before, and that just comes with experience. I know I've been losing 3 scores in the last 3 minutes and won, and I've been winning and lost. So. We're building a team. Rome wasn't built in a night.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. But when we do play well, man, we've showed that we're within one score of every team in the league.
Yeah. And I know it's just practice, but bad things happen in practice too. You do face adversity in practice too.
Yes, sir, all the time. And one of the reasons I love playing under Coach Jones is that we go ones on ones. Our iron sharpens irons. Our best guys go up against our best guys. And so, if we continue to do that and, we keep on working hard, we're going to be better out there.
When you look at 3-10 and you see Sask in front of you, a team you'd love to beat, I'm sure, how much does this game mean on Friday?
It means everything for me because Sask is a team that we have to beat to make the playoffs. Like if we lose this game, I think it's officially curtains for us in a sense. So we have to have all hands on deck for this game. And this is our playoff game. It's pretty much do or die right here.
Okay.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks,
Good,
Ron.
good
Yes,
luck
sir.
on Friday.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
Better.
Did not go well today?
No, terrible practice.
What didn't you see?
Not a lot.
Okay.
Any theories as to why?
Nope.
Just one of those days?
It's one of those days. We just we looked at it was about as bad a practice as we've had all year. So unfortunately, that's reality. Had to face it.
What can you do then? Because you travel tomorrow and you
Yep.
play on Friday.
Yeah, there's going to be some identity searching in there, and we've got to figure out, if you want to be a pro football player or not. This is what you want to do for a living, because it don't take long for that's taken away. So we've got to figure out, both as coaches and players, exactly who we are.
What do you see? What is it you don't like?
Again, don't try to delve too deep. It's just a poor day of practice,
Okay.
and I'm pissed off.
Okay, good.
So that's about it,
Okay. I
not
understand.
fielding the ball, dropping balls, not getting out of the huddle. I can continue to go on, and not getting lined up defensively, not bouncing around between periods. I can keep going. So.
Is that where you rely on your veteran players to say, look, guys, we got to dial in?
Yeah, again, that's where you would hope that you can lean on some of those guys. And yes, we're frustrated. We're frustrated at our record, but more frustrated at the process of which we know wins was not, it did not occur out here today. We didn't come out here today with the intention of getting any better. In fact, we're probably a worse football team than we were when we went home. All right, next question.
Taylor Cornelius, 2-year extension.
Yep.
Tell me about the commitment that you're showing and what do you see out of Taylor?
Yeah, again, we've got both he and Trey under contract for the next 2, and then Loxley for the next 1. And we've got, we feel strongly that they have attributes, that are conducive to winning football games. Again, Taylor's done everything we've asked him to do. He came in at number 3 after camp and has worked his way and continued to do the things that we've asked and become our starter. He's done some very good things. He's protected the football, decently at times, and he understands the importance of protecting the football. His quarterback rating over the last couple weeks and completion percentage is up, and so again, he's got all the skills. If you look at a lot of the quarterbacks in the league, from Bo Levi to even Mike Riley, I mean, they got to come in as number 3s and got to develop for a long time, and that's not the case in today's the way it is today. A guy gets thrown to the fire, and he's had a couple of pretty tough years, but he's the same guy every day he walks in the building, which I think says a lot for him character-wise, and again, we're just really excited about him moving forward.
Last 4 games, he's been really good. Over 1,000 yards, 6 TDs, 2 interceptions, and one was a pick 6. That was tough. But you talk about completion percentage. He goes from a 38 to a 68, and he had 72% completion rate.
Yeah.
Last game, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, I mean, we didn't do, we had a lot of drops in that game where it was 38. All he can do is throw the ball. He can't throw it and catch it. So we've got to, you got to factor in the 6 or 7 drops that we had in that ball game, and so again, he's doing a real nice job for us. Like I say, he's very even-keeled. He's here every day. He works extremely hard, and again, he's what you look for. We, and the other things, not just the other teams in the league, but you've got the XFL and the USFL sitting down there, and they don't have many good quarterbacks either because I've watched them. So, and so we, that's some of the things that you've got to understand, is out there as potentials for them. So we got him at a pretty good, 2 years, and he's got a solid commitment, so he's got a commitment to us. He wants to be part of the solution here, and that's what I'm most impressed with is, we had a tough year last year, another tough year this year, and yet he's the same guy every day he walks in through the door.
We've watched his evolution too. And I think as a leader, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, he's a quiet leader, and I think once he grows into the role, I think he'll become, a little bit more vocal and tell the guys what he wants. But right now, he's that quiet guy like Ricky Ray was, just very, I'm gonna do my job type guy, and and that's what's good about it. But it's also what's bad about it. He'll eventually grow into a little bit more of that vocal guy that can tell the guys exactly what he's thinking.
Seems players ball out for him. I mean,
yeah,
they made some spectacular catches for him.
Yeah, I mean, they really enjoy being around him. I mean, they rib him a little bit, give him a hard time, but he's a much better athlete than what people think.
Yeah. He's way more comfortable in this setting too.
Is he? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's really evolved.
Awesome.
Good deal. About 6-word answers.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
60.
Yeah.
Camera.
For sure.
Why is this a good signing for the Elks?
Well, Taylor's a young player that, he showed some promise, and we feel good about his progress that he's made from last year to this year, and then the things that he's doing moving forward. So it gives us a young quarterback that, has had some success moving forward.
Can you compare him to anybody? I know you played in this league for a long time. You've been around and you've been scouting. Anybody you would compare him to as a quarterback?
Well, he's similar in some ways. He's similar to a Mike Riley. He's a big, tall guy, physical guy who can run, who has a big arm.
but he's different than Mike in other ways. But I think he kind of has his own little juice that he brings to the table. He's a quiet leader, but he leads, and that's what we need most. We need it out of him. So he's a guy, like I said, he's a guy that has a bright future, and we're excited about it.
Speak to his character. I mean, not every player takes to sitting 5 straight games, not even dressing.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, boom, you're going in there and you started 8 straight.
Well, that's just the type of guy he is. He understands that it wasn't his turn, and he continued to prepare like he was going to be a starter, even though he wasn't dressing. But when he got that opportunity, he was prepared for it, and he continues to get better each and every week.
So I know it's football and change can happen like that.
Exactly.
Taylor's for 2 years. You got Trey for 2 years. Kyle Oxley's 1 year. Is this kind of a declaration from the club going, this is who we're building around now?
Well, you got to have a quarterback, and not only one but two, and we feel we're fortunate that we have 3 that under contract for two of them are under contract for 2 years, and then one's for 1 more year. So we feel confident moving forward with these 3 guys. We feel that like I said, you got to have quarterbacks in any football, but especially in the CFL.
Okay.
Thanks to you, Roy.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Good signing.
Yeah, no
Wednesday's
problem.
not
Oh,
usually-
yeah,
but
no
it's
problem.
We'll try not to keep you too
kind of a
long
big
here.
day.
Yeah, you're good.
Well, what does this mean to you?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's huge just knowing, the Elks organization, supports me and believes in me and, moving forward. And hopefully we can build on this and keep building the following years.
What do you think about? What do you reflect on when you sit down and sign that contract?
It was a long time coming. Me getting an opportunity like this. It's an up and down road for a while after college, trying to figure out, what I was going to do, things like that. And then last year, Coach Elizondo called me on a Wednesday and told me I had until Friday to decide whether or not I wanted to come up here. And, I got to thank him for, bringing me up here and giving me the opportunity to get with this organization to begin with. It's just been a wild ride for sure.
Yeah, last year with Jamie giving you the opportunity to start 8 games.
Yeah.
And then regime change, new staff comes in, but they looked at you right away and said, we like 15 in green here. So tell me how last year helped to get you back on the field this year.
Yeah, I think, just the experience of a rookie getting to play 8 games or 9 games or whatever it was, and just being suited up for all 14 of them last year was a huge part of it, getting an entire season under my belt to figure out this game and learn along the way and make mistakes and grow from them and continue to grow this year as well.
How did you handle the first 5 games? You've been asked this many times, but I think it's been identified by Coach Jones and G-Roy that they saw you take that very well when you finally got the call.
Yeah, just one of those things, prepared like I was going to play, did everything I needed to do to stay ready and, mentally and physically. Coach Jones does a great job of giving players, one-on-one reps after practice, keeping the one-game guys or the PR guys after practice. That way there's no hiccups or anything like that when your name is called, and, that's what I felt like, we had this year.
Well, I said you took it well. There was probably a big fire burning within you of like, come on, I want to get out there.
Yeah, definitely. That's the competitive nature of any athlete or any, player. You're always wanting to be the guy playing, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way, and every journey's different, and I had to sit out for 5 games.
We've been lucky enough to watch your evolution. Where do you think you've made your biggest strides?
I think, just being more confident and relaxed out there, figuring out the game and knowing the hots and knowing, what coverages the defense is trying to do and things like that. Last year I was just, learning on the run and trying to figure it out as fast as I could. But this year getting an off season and then getting a full training camp was a big help for me.
What's that get to know process been like for you? Because you got Steve McAdoo as your offensive coordinator, Jerry Jackson's your quarterback coach, and I know they're very direct. But talk about that back and forth though. That they go, Taylor, what are you comfortable with?
Yeah, we have those conversations, obviously, after practice, meeting with them, and just getting input on game plan stuff and where I feel right, with movement stuff and things like that out of the pocket, and then taking some shots too when we can. But it's been a great process getting to know those guys. I can't thank them enough for believing in me and giving me opportunity and helping me out, along the way. And obviously wouldn't be here doing this right now if it wasn't for them.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Congrats. Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
doing this on
Yeah.
day 3.
Oh,
too.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Yes, sir. See you guys. See you. Good luck Friday.